Welcome back. Well, the ANC was due to have a media briefing on the Nkandla report, and it seems they've now cancelled that briefing. Let's get the latest from our reporter, Xoli Mngambi, who's been standing by for that briefing. Afternoon, Xoli. What's been the reaction, though, just judging from the mood where you've been while you've been waiting? What's been the reaction from the ANC to this report?
Well, Yuvega, I can tell you that at this moment, just as the media, I think, assuming along with South Africans, would have wanted to hear what the ruling party would have to say, unfortunately, they will have to listen to the ANC's response tomorrow. But to explain why they've postponed this media briefing, I'm joined now by the ANC spokesperson, Mr. Jackson Mthembu. Mr. Mthembu, explain to us why the presser has been postponed.
Well, thank you, Xoli. You'll know that we had organized our press conference for 4:30. And even as we speak now, I think it's around 5 o'clock now, the public protector is still busy with the press. And we only got the written content of the report now. Therefore, we need to go and consider this report so that we are able to respond to it appropriately. That's why we have then postponed our press briefing to tomorrow. Secondly, you'll not go to that many of the issues that the public protector spoke to or speaks to are issues that are emanating from our government. So this will also allow our government to respond, and we believe that they will be able to respond to almost all the issues that she has raised before we come in. Even in terms of our planning, the government was supposed to respond at 3 o'clock. And the government has not been able to respond at 3 o'clock. We're supposed to come in at 4:30. So the whole planning for government media presser and our media presser has been disturbed by the long press conference of Madam Xoli Mngambi.
All right. I think the general public would love to know what time then tomorrow can they expect that media briefing to be held by the ANC.
We will be here exactly at 10 o'clock to respond to the report by the public protector.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mthembu. Well, Yuveka, that was the ANC's Jackson Mthembu, who speaks for the party and telling us there that essentially the party wants to make sure that they go through the report, the contents of the report. They've only just received the text of the report. And according to them, this is also to allow government to respond substantively to the issues that were raised by the public protector as she issued her report today.
Xoli, you have been holed up there with other journalists waiting for this ANC press briefing to get underway. Just judging by the murmurs and just your discussions, what is the feeling about this report? Do they feel it's a damning report, or do they also feel like President Jacob Zuma might have been let off lightly?
Well, Yuvega, just talking to one colleague here, I would say to you that the general feeling is that the report is damning, and I think top of mind for journalists, given that this is an election year, they want to know essentially how this is going to affect the ANC's campaign, given that the president is the face of the ruling party's campaign. He is on the ballot box, and he's essentially the man that is basically the face of the party as we go into these elections. And of course, the parties, opposition parties like the DA, already responding today, stating that they're going to be pushing for impeachment, and they're going to call on the Speaker of Parliament to make sure that he convenes Parliament as soon as is possible, because the 4th session of Parliament, they believe, is still on, given that the 7th of May has not arrived yet. So certainly I think the mood in this particular room, the press room of the ANC, was that of anticipation. We really wanted to know what the ANC was going to tell us, and I think, of course, the general public, people certainly would also want to know exactly how the ANC is going to respond, particularly whether or not they're going to remove the president as the face of the ANC, given that the findings of the public protector have found that he has benefited from the upgradings at his home in Nkandla.
Xoli, we've also been waiting for a government press briefing with some reaction to the Nkandla report. Have you received any information about whether that will continue today?
Well, Yuveka, our understanding is that the government media briefing is scheduled to go on immediately after the Public Protector, Xoli Mngambi, completes the reading of her report today. And I think this is partly the reason why the ANC has had to postpone its own, because they partly saying that they had to make sure that they give government its own fair share of time to respond to the report substantively, so that they then, as the ruling party, would come in tomorrow and not cloud whatever the government is going to say today. So I think in essence, the ANC has taken that particular decision, and I would hasten to say much to the disappointment of the general public. I mean, just judging by Twitter responses to my earlier tweet when Mr. Mthembu announced that the presser was being postponed, the immediate reaction was from one person there in the tweet saying that how bad, because I really wanted to know what the ANC would have said, or how the ANC is going to respond to this particular findings by Xoli Mngambi.
Well, they'll just have to wait till tomorrow morning then. Thank you very much, Xoli Mngambi. He's been at Luthuli House waiting for that ANC press briefing.
Know more about your world.
eNCA.com.